Hey guys, welcome to another video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about 10 makeup items that I would purchase immediately if I lost all of my makeup. I did see Andréa Matillano do this video, and as I was watching her video, I was like, that would be devastating to literally lose all of your makeup. But then to think about what would be the first 10 items that you purchase, because they're not necessarily going to be your favorites, but things that you're going to be able to use on a regular day-to-day, everyday basis. So that's what we're here to talk about today. If you are new here, hello, my name is Kelly. I love all things makeup and beauty. I love talking. I love makeup. I love talking about makeup. If you enjoy talking about makeup, I would love to have you subscribe. I do post videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Every now and then you'll get a little bit of a bonus video, but why don't we go ahead and jump into today's video. Like I mentioned in the intro, I did see Andréa do this video first, so I will have her video listed down below. But I took a look at my makeup collection and I thought realistically, if I lost everything, what would be the first 10 makeup items I would pick up? So that's what I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to go in the order of how I would apply it on my face, I guess. So the first product that I would purchase is a newer product to my collection, and it is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewdrops. Now, I know that this could fall in the category of skincare also, but I use this as like a makeup primer. And what I do is I go in with all of my skincare, I will let all of that sit, my SPF, everything, and as I'm sitting down to apply my makeup, I put a couple pumps of this on my hands and rub it all over the face. I feel like it helps with hydration, it helps with creating a nice healthy glow on the skin, and niacinamide is supposed to be brightening, so if you struggle with dull skin, dark spots, things like that, this is supposed to help brighten your complexion. So this is a product that I use every single day, and I tried thinking about like just not going in with a primer at all, because 10 makeup products, like how could I get a complete look? But I honestly was like, I have to include this because I use it every single day. And although it could be skincare, I use it as a primer. I would definitely be picking this up almost immediately if I lost all of my makeup products. So the foundation that I chose is the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Cream. Now I chose this for a few reasons. First of all, I tend to like more of a light to medium coverage in a foundation. This foundation, although I know it's a CC cream, I use this as a foundation because it gives you more of a medium coverage like a foundation would. It also has an SPF of 50, and I live in Houston, Texas. I'm a natural redhead. Although I do go in with an SPF, I also knew that if I was purchasing all of my makeup over again, I wanted a foundation in my collection that had an SPF that would work to give me that protection from the sun. I do really enjoy this foundation. I know some people aren't a huge fan of the packaging, but I really think the pump packaging is very nice. It comes with the squeezy tube, so I can make sure to get all of the product out. I have purchased this, I want to say this is my third container. This is typically the foundation that I reach for when I'm traveling. I don't have to worry about a glass jar breaking and spilling, anything like that. So if I lost all of my makeup, although this is not my #1 favorite in my collection, this is the foundation that I would purchase first. I went back and forth. On if I was going to include a concealer, but ultimately I decided I do struggle with dark circles underneath my eyes, so I wanted to throw a concealer in there, and the concealer that I would purchase first is actually one that I don't currently have in my collection, but it is a favorite of mine, and it is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Concealer. I'll throw a picture up right here. Gosh, I'm trying to remember my shade. I was in the shade Light, 110, 115, that sounds familiar to me. I'm not 100% sure. I've talked about this concealer on my YouTube channel before, but this concealer is more of a liquidy texture, which I prefer because I do struggle with eczema underneath the eyes, but also it gives me the full coverage that I need to conceal those dark circles. It doesn't settle into the fine lines that I have underneath my eyes, and it's drugstore. It's affordable. So if I had to start over, I would want a concealer that I know is going to give me the coverage that I like without being irritating, and it's more affordable. It's Milani, so definitely recommend that one. Now I do want to jump into brows. I feel like this is a category where some people could leave brows out. They could go with their natural brow, they could go with just a brow tint. My eyebrows are non-existent, okay? These are eyebrows that I have created for myself. My hair is very light, my eyebrow hair. I do not have a ton of eyebrow hair to begin with, but being a natural redhead, it is very light. It is very much a blonde tint, and I have to create a brow. So to create these brows, I use 3 products. Now I'm wearing all of these on the skin today. I messed up and I did go in with my niacinamide drops. I did not go in with this foundation. I actually, here we go, full transparency. I actually went in with the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better foundation, and I thought that's what I was gonna recommend because I thought it had an SPF in it, but in looking at the packaging as I was starting to talk about it, it doesn't have an SPF, so I switched over to this one after my makeup was already applied. So I do have those things on the skin, and I have a mixture of my Project Pan items with the items that I'm talking to you about today. So I did use 3 eyebrow products to create this brow, but if I could only have one, I would go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade Caramel. The reason why I chose this is because I use this product first. This is more of the fine pencil, so I take it and I underline where I want my brow to be, and then I kind of fill in the sparse areas. Then typically I go in with the brow definer because that, you know, is less precise. It's a little bit of a thicker brow pencil. It's like the triangle shape one, and I fill it in. But really, if I needed to, if I had to get away with just using one brow product, I could use my Brow Wiz. So I would still have to create a brow. I would just use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz to do that. I cut out powder. I cut out powder because I don't typically set my whole face. I only set underneath my eyes. And if I had to cut everything down, powder would be something that would go. So we are going to circle back to powder and bronzer, but when I'm applying my makeup, I typically go in with my complexion first, and I do have a bronzer on today. I'll have everything that I'm wearing linked down below, but I would not have a standalone powder and bronzer. So we're gonna come back to that, but the blush that I would purchase, again, the very first blush that I would purchase is the one that I'm wearing today, and it's by Buxom Cosmetics. This is the Wanderlust Primer Infused Blush in the shade Seychelles. That's hard for me to say. In the shade Seychelles. I think it's the S's that get me. This looks like it's going to be a very light blush. This is more of a neutral type blush. It comes infused with primer. It gives you like a nice healthy glow, but it's actually very pigmented. I feel like my ring light washes me out sometimes, but I actually I was a little heavy-handed with this blush, and I had to try and take a more fluffier brush and kind of tone it down a little bit. But this blush is very pigmented. It gives me a nice, healthy glow, and it's very, very long-lasting because you do have that primer infused in it. So if I lost all my makeup, I would definitely pick that blush up. And because I am such a highlighter lover, I couldn't nix the highlight, y'all. I couldn't. I had to go in with a highlighter, and if we're being honest here, I would purchase this highlighter trio by Ofra Cosmetics. This is the older packaging. Ofra came out with the Feel in Myself highlighter palette, and I think it was limited edition at the time, so I have the black packaging. They now have it in the white packaging, and the reason why I would purchase this is because I could cheat and I could have 3 highlighters in one. You do have Rodeo Drive. This one is, I always forget, Pillow Talk and Blissful. I love all 3. The one that I'm wearing today is Rodeo Drive, which is more of the champagne shade. You have the pink shade in Pillow Talk, and then a rose gold in the Blissful shade. So that's what I would do. These are minis. I feel like minis last a really long time. This is also currently in my Project Pan because I've had it for a while, and I'm trying to make a dent. I really am. I'm trying to make a dent in these, but I absolutely love the Ofra highlighter formula. It's definitely more of a like, boom, you're glowing kind of highlight. So if you don't like that, if you like more of a subtle toned down highlighter, I don't know that you would like that formula, but me personally, I want to wear highlighter and I want to look like I'm wearing highlighter. I do have dry skin, so I like that look. Then I told you that we were going to circle back to what I would do for bronzer and powder, because I would go into this palette right here, my Dominique Cosmetics Latte palette. And the reason why I would purchase this palette, it is the eyeshadow palette that I have on my eyes. I went in with this shade in Caramel in the crease, deepened it up with Hazelnut, and then I went in with Creme Brulee on the lid and took Macchiato as my inner corner highlight. But I feel like I could take Vanilla Cream on a very fluffy brush and just kind of dust it underneath my eyes if I needed to set my concealer. And then I feel like I could go in with Caramel if I wanted a bronzer and put that in the hollows of my cheeks. That's not what I did today because, like I said, I am going in with some, I'm gonna film my Project Pan update, so I went in with some of those items as well. But that's why I felt like this palette was very versatile, because I could use it for my eyes, but also I could go in with Caramel and even a touch of Hazelnut to kind of give me that bronze look, and use the Vanilla Cream underneath my eyes if I was in a pinch. Being that I have dry skin, I don't set my whole face, so I didn't feel like powder was a necessity, but I feel like this palette could help me in multiple ways, so I wanted to include it in this video. That brings us to 3 more products, I think. I hope my counting was correct, but talking about eyes, I would go in with a mascara, and the mascara that I would go in with is this one by Maybelline. It is the Rocket Volume Express. I get the Blackest Black. I do not get the waterproof version. I've talked about this mascara time and time again. If you were here in January and you caught my Flashback Friday series where I was going and revisiting my old Flashback Fridays, you know that this has popped up, or if you've seen any of my empties videos, that is like a holy grail mascara, and it's from the drugstore. It's affordable. Moving into the lips. What I have on my lips right now is the Kylie Cosmetics liquid lipstick in the shade Bare. Now this is the Velvet liquid lipstick formula. I do enjoy her normal liquid lipstick formula. I feel like that sets more matte and sets down completely transfer proof. This is the Velvet formula, so while it does dry down almost completely, I do still get a little bit of transfer. It's a little bit more comfortable, almost like a whipped lipstick formula, but you do get long wear, and Bare is just a beautiful neutral shade. I find myself reaching for this time and time again, so if I lost all of my lippies, I would definitely repurchase this one. And this is one that I have repurchased. So this shade Bare initially came out in a collection that Kylie released several years ago in Send Me Some Nudes. I can upload my original video. It is very old from whenever this released. I guess not very old, but several years old from when the set released. But Bare came out in that quad. It was 4 lip shades, and I lost it. I don't know what happened to it, but I lost it and I went into a panic. And at the time, you could only get it in that set. So I was like devastated because I thought I was never gonna have Bare again. And then just in looking on the Kylie Cosmetics website one day, Bare was up there, so I purchased it. So that tells me if I lost it out of my collection, I do know that I would go and purchase it again because I've already done that. But to wrap up this video, to wrap up my 10 products and to set my face, I had to include my MAC Fix Plus. This is perhaps the most repurchased item in my collection. I cannot even begin to tell you how many I have purchased. I will use this to prime the face. I will use this to set the face. I will use this for my eyeshadow shades. I use this so much. I use this product so much in my collection. Is it going to help the longevity of your makeup? Probably not. If that's what you're looking for, don't go for this. But for someone like me who has dry skin, who wants a product that's going to like make all of the powder melt into my skin, who's gonna help my eyeshadows pop, this is my go-to. I love my MAC Fix Plus. I've repurchased it so many times. I can't even begin to tell you, but I love it, and I would have to make it one of my 10. And I think that's going to do it for this video. I think I have all 10 products. If I go back and edit this and I miss one, I'm going to be so mad at myself. Y'all, I have my notes right here, okay? So I have the 10 products listed down and I have them sitting in front of me, but because I don't have the Milani in my possession, I keep thinking that I'm off by a number, but I'm not. I think that's it. I think those are the 10 items that I would pick up first if I lost all of my makeup. What would you guys get? What would be the 10 items that you would repurchase if your makeup was wiped out? I want to know. Shout out to all my Ganders, Michigan. If you don't know, I did mention that I live in Texas, but I am a Gander, and I purchased this shirt before COVID hit when we took my daughter to Michigan for the first time in September of 2019. That was the last time that we've been back. We are hoping, my husband and I are now vaccinated, so we are hoping to get up there in the fall of 2021 and see some of our family and go to a cider mill and drink cider and eat donuts. And I want to see my friend Molly. I want to give her a hug in person. And that was just a tangent, but shout out to all the Michiganders watching this video. That is going to do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed before you go. That way I can see you in the next one. Bye.